Can you tell us a little bit about today's hearing and what transpired during that Homeland Security hearing?
Well, certainly as a member of Congress from the border, I wanted to make sure that we get the facts correct, especially when somebody puts out a report that says that doing business in Hidalgo County, Webb County, Cameron County is like doing business in a border zone. They're talking about the U.S. side, and I just take I take issue with that. I just asked them very simple questions. They got a little excited when I asked them, what evidence that they have. How are they coming up saying that this area, let's say Hidalgo County is more dangerous, is as dangerous as a war zone. I asked them a question: would you consider Washington D.C. a war zone? And they said we couldn't answer that question. And one of them said no. I said, well, the crime rate in Washington D.C. is like 10 times more than what it is in Hidalgo County or in Brownsville. But then why are you calling Hidalgo and the other areas a war zone, but not Washington, D.C.? So all I was asking is just very simple questions. I want to know the facts. How did you come up with this report? But they sure didn't want to be asked any questions on it. And I think if anybody's going to attack the border, I'm going to be the first one. I don't care who's on the other side. I will defend the border.
Now, how important is it to continue this debate, and why is it so important to our country?
Well, look, we all want to secure the border. There's a lot of good people, state, local, federal officials, law enforcement. I got 3 brothers of law enforcement. One's a sheriff in Webb County. He was DPS narcotics intelligence for 27 years. I want to work with our men and women. I support them. But for somebody to come in and exaggerate what's happening here on the border, I don't think that's right. It's not good for business people. They're scaring people off. It's just like if I went to another city and I declare that a war zone, I would be run out of that city. So again, let's all work together. Let's see how we can secure the border. Let's get more money to our local sheriffs, our police. Let's thank the Border Patrol instead of attacking the Border Patrol or the federal officials, which they were doing. They were saying that they were doing nothing. I take offense that they're attacking our men and women that are doing a good job on the border.
Rápidamente, ¿nos puede dar un poco de información sobre la audiencia que hubo hoy en Washington tocante el tema de seguridad fronteriza?
Bueno, muy simplemente están hablando de un reporte donde dicen que la conclusión es que la frontera está con mucho peligro. Estamos hablando del lado americano. Dicen, si alguien tiene un negocio en un condado aquí en Texas, vamos a decir Hidalgo o Cameron en Brownsville, es como si era una zona de guerra, que es algo increíble que alguien va a pintar a nuestra frontera como era una zona de guerra. No estamos hablando del lado mexicano, ese es otro mundo, otra cosa. Estamos hablando del lado americano. Estamos haciendo todo para trabajar, para mejorar nuestra seguridad. El problema que yo tengo es que cuando alguien no tiene la evidencia y ellos no sacan la evidencia que dicen que estamos en una zona de guerra en el lado americano, esto tiene un impacto negativo en nuestros negocios y no es justo para nuestros hijos, madres, padres que viven en la frontera que dicen que están abajo de ataque 24 horas al día.